And now to discuss this, I'm joined by a rights activist, and that's Hassan Taiwo Soweto. He's the National Coordinator of Education Rights Campaign. Well, many thanks for joining me today, Soweto. And let's just get started very quickly this morning. Do you agree with the Information Minister that a 250,000 naira minimum wage demanded by Organised Labour could undermine the economy and even lead to mass retrenchment of workers?
I don't agree. I think it's a fallacy.
Why do you say so?
Yes, because if you look at what has been happening in the past few periods in the country, we have had several cases of corruption, by state governors, by political office holders at different levels. And we have never had a situation whereby, despite the gargantuan nature of those corruption, that they have caused a spike in inflation. I mean, a recent example was, the former governor of Kogi State, who allegedly stole a lot of money and paid his children's school fees, for several years, ahead. And we didn't hear this argument. So why is it that when it comes to workers' wages, that is when this argument of inflation, is deployed? And it's just a lie, because if you look at it, inflation has gone up in the last 12 months, astronomically. And that wasn't because workers' wages were increased. It was simply because the government decided to disrupt the economy by implementing some policies like fuel subsidy removal and the devaluation of the naira. So that what the workers are asking for is that they need a new wage that reflects the current rate of inflation, because workers' purchasing power has gone down. So I don't agree with that, and I think that the labor movement must not agree with that.
Now, the minister also emphasized the imperative of a realistic wage system, that safeguards against this mass retrenchment while addressing workers' needs, right? And the figures have been 60,000 naira and now 62,000 naira. Is 62,000 naira the best figure to protect the economy?
The question of a minimum wage is first and foremost determined by the interest of the workers, not the interest of the economy, not the interest of the employers, not the interest of the state. When workers are demanding a minimum wage, what they are trying to say is that they need a wage that will prevent them from going into a state of complete dehumanization, a state of complete destitution, a state of homelessness where workers cannot even afford, to live as human beings anymore. So what determines a wage is first and foremost, the integrity of an average Nigerian worker. So that 62,000 naira, for instance, is not even enough to pay electricity bills per month in many households across the country because of the current increase in electricity tariff. So what is the government saying? What government is simply saying is that you are giving workers a wage that will not even be able to pay an item of their bill in a month, let alone talking about transportation, children's school fees, feeding, and all of that. That cannot be accepted. What we need to say, therefore, is that government needs to open its books. We need to see whether it is true that the economy cannot afford workers' wages. As far as we are concerned, the labor movement, what is very clear to us is that what Nigeria's economy cannot afford is the greed of Nigerian politicians and the ruling elite. When it comes to workers' wages, Nigeria's economy can afford it because the mathematics is very clear. When workers collect wages, it trickles down back to the rest, of operators in the economy.
So wait, what would then be a realistic and sustainable minimum wage increase that, balances workers' needs, with the economic stability and, and even with the inflationary economy that we have, and also would be, suitable for the government not to be in bankruptcy, as the Nigerian governors have said in their statement about a week ago?
The workers have put forward what I consider to be a fair proposal.
But is it realistic? I mean, fair is one, but is it realistic?
It is very realistic, I must tell you. Because what you need to do first and foremost is to cut down on the greed of the political office holders. As at present, political office holders are collecting too much wage. They are completely oversaturated with money. That huge wealth that is in their hands needs to be removed. Many governors are collecting what they call security votes, which is money that they just spend as they wish. These are monies that can be collated together to be able to ensure that workers are given a fair wage while the economy is also protected. And this is possible where we have a system of running the economy that is based on assuring a decent life for all. Currently, the system that we practice is capitalism, which therefore means that at every point in time, the interests of workers are in contradiction to the interests of the system. Because the system is basically for the enrichment of a few. And that is why it is important as Nigerian workers and people to begin to reconsider an alternative socialist economic management of Nigerian society.
So wait, but our system is democracy and it's for the people, by the people, and basically just the people itself. So when you say that it enriches the few, isn't that a bit contradictory?
It is contradictory, but it's the fact of our existence as Nigerians today. And why I agree it's contradictory is because it does show that we have been living a lie for the past 24 years, or 25 years, saying that Nigeria is a democracy. Because in the real sense of the word, if you look at the statistics that the NBS has shown us over the past few years, over 60% of Nigerian population don't have up to 500,000 naira in their accounts as savings. So where is all of the wealth that Nigeria is endowed with? Where is it? It is located in the hands of just less than 1% of the population. That obviously is not a democratic country. A country whose wealth is trapped in the hands of a few. So and that is why it is important today to consider a socialist alternative. Because what we need to ensure that there is decent life for all, there is minimum wage that is, available for everybody, is to put Nigeria's resources under democratic planning. The resources, the wealth is enough. It is our lack of planning and the greed of a few that has put us in this condition.
So I want to say many thanks. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you for doing this with us.
Thanks for having me.